We're going to do in that block is some self-myofascial release. This program we're going to be doing some split squats. When you think about what you do with a split squat, you're working your legs. So let's go ahead and foam roll our quads. Two ways I want you to do this. First, you can go on the first leg, one leg at a time, almost like you're in a plank position, and then get in place on the first leg. And then from there, just little oscillating movements like 2 to 3 inches in one spot. And then after you've done that for maybe 30 seconds or so, a couple breaths, then you can also do a little trigger point release. So then you're going to stop on the foam roller, make sure you have a pretty solid core position, and then bring the heel up and then kick it back out. So think, bring that heel in toward the glute and then kick back out straight. That is definitely a little spicy for me. So after about 3 kicks, I'm going to move on to another part of the quad. And I might do that in 2 to 3 spots, just kind of depends where my pain points are today. And then after I've done that on one side, a couple more trigger point releases. Ooh, that's an extra spicy spot for me. And then I'm going to switch to the other side. So now I'm on the right leg. If you were on the right to start, just switch to the left, kind of getting that nice plank position here, finding my first spot, doing some of those little oscillating movements. Show you from the side as well. And then after about 30 seconds there, finding a spot that kind of I want to settle on and do that trigger point release, heel up and in, and then heel out. Kick it up, kick it out, maybe one more time, inhaling, exhaling, and not too long, just moving right on to the next spot. For me, I'm going to go a little further up, keep that plank position with the forearms, a little more trigger point. And all this is doing is getting my connective tissue, my fascia, to release any of those tight spots so that I can eventually get into a deeper range of motion. So that was for the quads. Another spot that people often need this release is the T-spine, the thoracic spine. That's the mid-back, so not the cervical, not the lumbar, but the mid-spine. What happens is that gets really tight from driving, from sitting at a desk, from using cell phones. When that gets tight, our back still needs to move, and the spine starts to move a lot in the cervical and the low back. That's what leads to neck pain, low back pain. So if we can restore mobility and movement to the mid-back, the T-spine, then these can be more static like they should be. So let's go ahead and foam roll the T-spine. You're going to take your foam roller and kind of put it where text would be on a jersey, and then you're going to cross your arms over, grab opposite shoulder, pick the glutes up, and kind of hug yourself in, so like a little elbow towards the knees, and then just a little roll here. So again, you're trying to bring yourself out of that fight or flight into rest and digest parasympathetic. So let's take an inhale in the nose, out the mouth. One more in the nose, out the mouth. And then from there, you're going to take your hands, come around behind the ears, and usually people really overdo this extension, but when you do that, you kind of lose the ribs and you lose the T-spine. So I want you to think, shut the garage door and kind of keep the ribs down, and then just there, elbows wide, some foam rolling. Then from there, you can set the glutes down, thumbs by the ears, and kind of reach back, look back, follow with your eyes to your thumbs, and then crunch forward. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, coming forward, little crunch. And try not to go so far that you lose those ribs. Think, shut the garage door, keep them pinned, and then back forward. So that was the first chunk of the slow